What's good, y'all? My name is Dylan Green, and this is Real Notes, a space dedicated to blurring the cultural and artistic lines between rap and film. I'm here to chop it up with everyone from rappers and producers to journalists and video directors about their relationship to movies and how, if at all, film inspires their craft. My guest this week is Baton Rouge rapper Quadri. We spoke about PinkPanthress, You, The Sopranos, New Jersey Drive, how film has influenced his storytelling, Lil Wayne, Chief Keef, gentrification, the pros and cons of living in the hood, working with the producer Tuamie, the art of the concept album, and the creative process behind his latest album, They Think We Ghetto. Come fuck with us.
PinkPanthress, I took a listen to her album today and I really liked it. And I was thinking like a week ago or like a couple of days ago about how I seen some of the artists that I liked when I was like 14, 15, like the ASAP Rocky, the Joey Badass, the Kendrick Lamar, the J. Cole's. And I was like, damn, what Lord, even like the first time I saw these artists was through a music video, right? Either on 106 in Park or, even Chief Keef was more kind of a, like you heard it, well, Don't Like was just fucking everywhere, but yeah, you kind of heard his, like you heard his name before you actually saw the video of him. So, right. So it's like, I kind of seen the change because I didn't know what PinkPanthress looked like until like I went on an Apple and like, oh, she was right. Like a girl like I went to school with. So
and she and she's been hiding her face up until like real recently too. No, and like I was just reading, nobody knows her name. Like nobody knows who she really is because like PinkPanthress is her TikTok name. So like nobody knows anything about her other than the fact that that's what she looks like. And she makes fucking, what does she call it? Like new nostalgia music. I'm hyped because I love what I've heard, but I haven't peeped the whole shit yet. I'm a definitely
Kingdom's
get
Heart,
on it.
Like Kingdom's Heart, kind of like the credits at the end of Kingdom's Heart. Like it give me that type of feeling, like type of not, like nostalgia, basically, like that type of glitzy, glossy, like type of music, but. That's Cardinal sin nowadays. Like, I didn't seen, so many people share their thoughts about how artists should conduct themselves to get their music out there. And she's kind of done the opposite. Like, just like you said, nobody knows her name. We just found out what she really looks like. Mm-hmm. And, from, stuff I get told, like I need to post more on social media, get more out there, do more of this, be more of a commodity. And like just to see an artist like that kind of grow organically. I mean, granted, it is kind of, we've like for the past 10 years, there's only been a couple artists that could really do that, like The Weeknd, Frank Ocean to an extent, but it's just crazy when somebody blows up doing the exact opposite. People tell you what to do to blow up. Like, like, damn, well, yeah. So
they break the code of the Matrix and shit. Yeah, like it's always really tight to see someone just like bust through and like do it on their own terms, which is one of the things I've loved about kind of seeing you do your thing over the course of the last like couple of years. Like you're not at a PinkPanthress level yet, but you built something, and like people are here, and this is like They Think We Ghetto is like I'm here, pay attention to me type shit. Like. So I feel it. I feel it.
Yeah. And bro, and the crazy thing, I've been trying to be more grateful because the people I do get a hold of, like, they really like the shit. Like it's not like because I've been thinking about this too. Like I gotta find my people, not just people in general. Oh. I gotta find the people, that will like the shit I do, and like operate, like every artist operates on a certain frequency, and like everybody is different, because I've been trying to think why I like this album as opposed to this album, and even music made by my friends, I was like, why I feel this Panther shit more than something made by somebody like I've known for years, and it's just certain people like certain things, and I'm just trying to find like my people. And for the past year and a half, that's the kind of the journey I've been not forced to go on, but I think God or the higher power just kind of sat me down and was like, nah, G, you're gonna have to build this brick by brick. It ain't no fast pace for you. It ain't no TikTok. It ain't no TikTok joint for you, my guy.
Right.
You're gonna have to build this shit brick, make the bricks, and then build it brick
and
by
then build
brick.
it, and then lay it right. Yeah, like that, and like I'm so happy you brought that up because like that's really like the difference between finding people and like your people is like a difference I don't think a lot of people understand. Like it's really like it's so many artists out here who like make like a really nice solid living and like make the music they want to make, and they like understand their audience to an extent where they can just like give it to them and like they'll be cool, you know, like somebody who I think fits into their great is somebody like a Kai who's like kind of moving his way up, and like people are starting like the nigga just opened for Mad Lib, son, like in New York, like that's crazy. But you know, like people like him and people like Anakin. And Sky Zoo is another great one. Like Sky Zoo's been doing his thing for like a decade. Like, and he's just, you know, like he never really had that big, he never had that big hit in any era. But like he just put out one of my favorite things I heard this year. All the Brilliant Things is fucking amazing. Like this shit is crazy. And like, you know, like that isn't to say that people should like accept the fact that they're only ever going to get so big. I really hope that's not how that's coming across, but like it's just really great to have that, like you found your people and like you know who you're making the music for and like they're coming to it type shit. Like that's really important.
Yeah, man. You know, like not even that feeling of like ain't nobody gonna get bigger. It's just about being grateful for what's, you know, because to be honest, like, I mean, you know, music is a noble endeavor, you know, like, but we ain't curing cancer and shit. It like, you know, it's, you know, like, you know, it's a blessing. We able to do what we want and make money off of it, you know, but any type of money get off of it, you know, it's a blessing. But, you know, I'm just, you know, this is me trying to be in a mind state of being more grateful for like everything I have instead of being in a position of like, damn, bro, like I'll be happier if I had more. And that's a mind state I don't want to be in like ever again, because that's just perpetual sadness, because you ain't gonna never have just as much as Jeff Bezos. That's just out of the question, cause too rich. Like you can probably settle for Dave Chappelle or something, but you know.
And even that's like that's a lot. Like Chappelle got $60 million for those specials. Like
exactly. So it's levels, bro. It's levels, you know.
Right.
Yeah, you're gonna have to settle at some point. So at some way you gotta settle. So you know, you might as well be happy as, you know, going up and like wherever you get. But yeah, man. Tuamie actually put me on the Sky Zoo. Actually, that's crazy too. You mentioned him and Anakin to the extent.
Yeah, because Tuamie has a beat on the new Sky Zoo album. I think it's the I forget which song it is, but no, it's the last one. It's the last one where he's talking about where he almost retired, which like wow. Okay. But yeah, no. He and Tuamie had worked together a lot, and him and Anakin, of course, you know, like they did Panama Plus, and Panama Plus is like fucking amazing, like.
Grandma's Spot, bro. That's the first song I actually heard from all three of them. Because I was ripping my goddamn hair out, G. I was like, the fuck? Like, bro, it's not a lot of instruments in this shit. Like, bro, it's just the vibe of this shit. Cause I think that was I was working on Malik Ruff or I just finished it. And I don't know if you heard Malik Ruff, but the vibe of it, like the producers that was involved, like, not saying they're the antithesis of what Tuamie does, but I was trying to reach more, not pop rap, but kind of that, or kind of the space that Vince Staples occupies, the space that Kenny Mason is starting to occupy, kind of that alternative rap, but it's kind of like it can be played in an arena.
It's got a lot of appeal, right?
Yeah. Not to say what Anakin and the Mutants was doing wasn't. I just felt that was a more gutter, a more like
more
just
raw,
the video,
like
more,
definitely raw, like
more true to my environment, and I think that's part of the reason. It's crazy, Tuamie,
right?
Because Tuamie told me Malik Ruff was family friendly, and I was like, nigga, what family friendly? You like, nigga, I was just out in the apartment. I bet. Say no more. The next album, they think we ghetto. But so yeah,
right.
like, but I said all that to say the music that Grandma Spot put me on the Seafood, and Seafood put me on the Mike, and Mike put me on the Mavi, and Mavi put me on the Overcast. Overcast put me on the Navy Blue.
Mm.
They were my entry point to a whole other scene that I didn't even know what was going on.
Right.
So yeah, like that's why like that song like crazy to me. Like I was like,
Yeah.
yo, what the fuck is this shit? And who else is
Like
making shit like this? Like, it's just
before
crazy.
before I forget, shout out to Concept Jackson, because like people don't talk about Concept enough. Like the rhyme scheme that he had going, like the way he does his rhyme schemes are just like, I don't understand like how he does it the way he does, just like
Hold on,
stacking them shits. Like
1 second. Let me try to find the lyrics to Grandma Spot. Wait. I'm sorry, cause like, bro, like I'm really a rap nerd. Like I'm really like like I love hip hop culture, graffiti, the breakdance, the like the shit that the cats in New York started. But I love the word, like the written word art of hip hop, like which is rap. Like I
right,
love
bro.
that shit. Grandma Spot
Like,
lyrics, Tuamie. Your arms too short to jab the black fox, man. This is fucking amazing, bro.
like
Oh, the arms too short. Hold on, let me see if Rap Genius got this shit. New shit, nigga. We had the drugs at the Grandma Spot. Low. Yeah, fuck. Come on, man. We had the drugs at the Grandma Spot. The cameras and the cameras on the block and fake the shit. They go, God, I got the same smock that Cameron rock. Man, come on, man. I can't find the fucking lyrics. Wait, hold on. Okay, wait. Shit, nigga. Wait, what the fuck? The only thing I can find is mutant shit, nigga. We had the drugs at my grandma's spot. This camera was on the block, and it's a question mark and nothing else.
damn, yeah, I'm looking at it too. That's crazy.
That's fucked up. But yo,
Yeah.
yeah, like Concept is amazing to me because, bro, the Panama Plus is crazy. Like, yeah, like that's because we did a song for his thought rap tape, and
yeah, right. Okay, I remember
yeah,
now. I remember now.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like I like the I like to challenge myself. I like to find the best MCs that I can get my hands on and try to rap with them,
Right.
just to sharpen myself. Yeah, and he's, one of the guys, him, Grip, with some other dudes I've kind of, me and Anakin, we've been talking and stuff, like I'm just a fucking, I've been dragging my ass, we're gonna do some shit. Me and
Yeah.
Archie
Yeah.
Ball Slim gonna do some shit.
Mm.
So
Yeah, Arch's
yeah.
fucking album that he put out, the one that just came out like a month ago, crazy too.
Yeah.
Also
See,
crazy.
off, bro. Shit, yeah, bro. I'm just a fan of niggas, man. I'm just a fan of niggas, and I need to stop being, cause in person I'm so like you can see I'm way more bubbly, I'm way more personable. Like on
Right.
social media, I don't know why I got this weird type of anxiety with interacting with people through screens. I'll be like, damn, like I don't want to sound like no bitch. Like,
Nah, I get it.
yeah.
It's a lot, because like you are like, that's like a first impression type shit, like
Mm-hmm.
and like, like it's hard to read sarcasm on the internet. So like it's hard to read
Exactly.
it's hard to read everything. So like it's
Mm-hmm.
like I stopped caring, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't matter and that I don't like think about it in the back of my head like 5 minutes later, like why did I say that? Like I get exactly where you're coming from. It's not easy
That
at all.
yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah, because you be trying to joke and like you be like subconscious, like damn, like I hope they get my sense of humor or
yeah, like
but
it's like it's got to be people, or else you just taking a shot basically, and it's like, all
mm-hmm,
right, we'll see. You fucking with
mm-hmm,
it. If not, whatever. Like,
yeah, we're just try to keep it moving the best you can. But
like,
yeah, hip hop is really music in general is in a really robust place. Like I like a lot of music that I've been hearing, rap music,
right.
any other music, those stuff. So yeah, everything's good.
Hell yeah, bro. I want to talk about all of this. Like we're gonna talk about as much of that as we possibly can. But before
Mm.
I forget, I gotta do this drop because like
Oh
we're
yeah.
already we're already going and I'm having a great time. I just forgot.
Mm-hmm.
What's it called? Brain. What the fuck's my brain do? Okay. What's cracking? Welcome back. Hi, Real Notes. We're here.
Mm.
It's like my brain is in such a weird place because this is the first episode I've recorded in I think about 2 weeks because I've been on break. So like I've been like I'm so not used to, like I lost I'm kind of like blown at how like not used to this I am again. But we're here and it's gonna be tight. My name is Dylan, CineMasai. I'm all over the place. 2 names, some of them. I'm not numbering the episodes anymore. I fucking lost track. So everybody I bring onto this show is crazy special. And this is somebody that I've been talking to for a while. He put out a really fantastic project that I've been listening to a lot this year called They Think We Ghetto that we're going to talk about later. This man's a rapper extraordinaire, been all over the place himself. Like he's kind of, he's cooling out right now. He's shirtless. I don't know if y'all heard that. I don't think we mentioned that before. Maybe we did.
Hey man, but it's hot in Louisiana, even in October, man.
See, I feel you, man. We got Quadri in the house, bro. How you doing? Thank you for coming on my shit. I really appreciate you.
Oh no, man. Come on, man. It's something, it's something that I'm happy to do, especially with a fellow music lover. We're gonna kick the shit. We're gonna, talk about, stuff that interests us, and I'm excited to get into it, man.
Hell yeah, son. So let me ask you the first thing I ask everybody who comes on here. What's the last movie or TV show you watched that you had a strong opinion about?
That's a good ass question, my guy. I'm watching the 3rd season of You right now. And I haven't finished it, but my first impressions are Joe is gonna get himself killed by his wife. Like the dude been going crazy these last 2 seasons, running a rampage, and I think it ends here. Like I think Shorty is gonna put a knife in his back while he sleeps, cause she don't got no impulse control. She just killed. She just knocked somebody over the head with a rolling pin for well, it was serious. The dude had gave their baby measles, but that's beside the point. Shorty killed their next door neighbor, who just leads to the bacon. I don't want to do no spoilers, but yo, Shorty is way worse than Joe. This bitch is a serial killer. And cuz trying to run around containing this shit, he'll send my man's murder himself, and he trying to clean up her shit. I'm like, damn, this is not gonna end well for that guy. But Many Saints of Newark. That's something I watch.
How'd you like it? Because I haven't seen it yet. I still got to start The Sopranos. But how'd you like it?
You ain't seen The Sopranos?
Not yet. I'm from that area of Jersey too, which is the sad part. I'm from right over there, son. I know all that shit. So
that's like a nigga from Baltimore never seen The Wire.
I know.
That's crazy. But I mean, don't feel too bad, because I kind of dipped my toes into it. I think I just saw the 1st season, but I get why people really love the series. It's funny, it's tragic, it shows the complexities of people, and also the inner workings, the post mafia, because it's not the glory days. I'm just talking about the time era where the Sopranos takes place. It's kind of post John Gotti. So these niggas kind of working men damn near, but they, Tony got a big house, but Pussy and his henchmen, they live regular. They ain't really balling like that. So
right.
But Many Saints of Newark, Junior, that's crazy. That nigga was really a hater out of back then. That shit was crazy to me. But for a person who hasn't seen The Sopranos like that, I kind of liked it, but I can also kind of see the kind of plot holes people was talking about. And also, let me see how I'm gonna make this sound. They played up the black angle a little too much. It's they had this nigga running around gunning that Tony uncle or whatever. I'm like, I don't know if this is what's the purpose of this? Is this I don't it did show the Newark riots. I didn't know New Jersey had riots that bad. I'm like,
yeah,
is this just because Black Panther and the Messiah came out? What's I don't know, because every time I don't know. I mean, I guess, but I don't know, because I feel the Sopranos like not to like segregated, but when I watch Sopranos, I want to see about the mafia. Like I watch The Wire to see about like niggas and shit. Like trying to entangle those two worlds, I was like, I can't pay attention to one thing because I'm like, what these niggas over in New Jersey doing? What they trying to build? Like, okay, I'm trying to pay attention to the mafia and like Uncle Junior and these characters like that was in the series. I'm trying to keep track of like, okay, oh, that's him and that's Tony Daddy and stuff like that. So yeah, like I like I kind of get why people were saying it was trying to do too much. One of my friends said it should have been 3 hours, like The Irishman. So
see,
yeah,
I heard some people saying that it should have been like its own like little mini series, like not even like 3 hours. I don't know because I haven't seen it. I've seen like one episode of The Sopranos in my life, but I know enough about the riots in Newark and just like that general area and like the whole like idea of what The Sopranos is trying to do is that, like I could see everything you're saying too. I'm just really interested to like pick the shit up at this point where like everyone is kind of like either jumping back into it or watching it for the first time because it's like having this really weird moment that I'm like, and it's just cool because like people are asking, like I tell people like, yo, like they shot like I know where they shot the last scene of the Sopranos. Like they shot it in this place called Holston's. It's like this diner that's like right in my hometown, and yeah, like it's just crazy to see that part of Jersey like having this moment in a weird way. Like I just took my girlfriend over there like last week to be like that's where they shot The Sopranos, like like type shit.
Okay. Jersey is an interesting place because okay, I'm gonna just speak from my own personal experiences, being somebody like from the South. The first time the first time I would like seen a spotlight on how Jersey, get down was New Jersey Drive. And I'm like, man, these niggas just stealing cars like this. Ain't no consequences. They running from the police, stealing police cars. So I'm like, oh, Jersey get down like that. I fucks with it. And then seeing The Sopranos, and then R.I.P. to Michael K. He was doing that Vice series.
Yeah, the one where he was in Newark, right?
Yeah. And he pulled the kind of the curtain back, showing how the stolen cars going to Africa, and that's funding like Africa's booming. I think which country, Nigeria, Ghana, but like basically niggas in New Jersey is stealing cars for niggas in Africa that's getting money and shit. So I'm like, damn, man. Wow, hey, I fucks with it. The diaspora is working at top speeds. So,
also,
but yeah.
Before we get too far off track, thank you for bringing up New Jersey Drive. Nobody knows what that movie is. I like it's or like not nobody, but like
it's a classic.
Yeah, it really is. Like you're the first person to come on the show to talk about New Jersey Drive, and I appreciate that so much. Movie's a classic. I love that movie.
Nigga, I love that movie too. Like, I mean, it's on the same tier as like Fresh, Belly. Well, Belly is just an addictive watch. Like the storyline's kind of cool, but
it's basically a music video. Like it's a Hype Williams movie. Like, come on. Like,
come on. Yeah, like we don't gotta talk no more about Belly. Everybody's just said enough about it. We don't gotta down it. Like it's a cultural artifact. It's cool for what it is.
The soundtrack's
great. Yes. The soundtrack's amazing. But New Jersey Drive, I like those 90s black movies that kind of showed the sadness of it, kind of how, well, not kind of how, but Boys in the Hood is like a perfect example, kind of,
right.
The last scene of Boys in the Hood where Doughboy walking off and like fade and like it pops up.
And the two of them are like sitting on the porch and he's giving him the speech, and then it's like he died 2 weeks. Like, yeah.
Like, not saying I like them, but it's more realer to me than opposed to like the super flies we get, have gotten recently. And this kind of the taste of the culture was like trying to make those moments seem more jubilant than they really are. You know, the guys in Jacksonville rapping over fucking take my way downtown, walking fast.
The Vanessa
So
Carlton joint, yeah.
yeah. So it's like it's important to remember, like that shit comes with a lot of grief, you know.
Yeah.
So it's just movies that remind us of that. Like, you know, it's like, wait a minute, niggas just ain't stealing cars and shit don't happen to them eventually, you know.
Right. You know, like
so
I think I'm happy you brought that up. I think that balance is real important. And I think that you know, like people it's really easy to compare and contrast two movies like Boys in the Hood and Menace to Society, right? Because like they're kind of like people do it all the time, and I don't always think it's like super warranted. But like you look at the end of Boys in the Hood, and you look at Doughboy, and I forget Cuba Gooding. What was his character's name? His Trey, right? Yeah, because his father was furious. Anyway, so like you look at that, and it still feels kind of tame compared to how like Menace to Society ends, because like that ends with fucking Kane he just gets shot up in front of his house, and then boom, he's dead. You know, like that's like the this is it, like wake up, this is what's happening here, like, you know, like it's but I guess at this point in my life I appreciate the balance of like having that sort of escapism kind of be there, but also to have stuff that's grounded in a way to remind you like, look, like it's not sweet, like because then you have people watching those movies, because like this isn't the movie's fault or any one of the actors or director, but like you have people watching these movies that then they start to glorify the hood, and it's like and like don't get me wrong, like there are plenty of like beautiful things about the hood, but there's plenty of awful things about it too, and like people will like come around, you know, like I'll see people like going to Newark to like take pictures of shit, and like there's like stuff in like Newark's kind of being gentrified right now, but like you know, it's like you'll just see people go into certain areas where like people are starving, and they'll be there with the cameras, you know, and like people and it's just like, and it's like, like people going to Compton. Like I imagine there are people who go to Compton like, oh, that's the you like take the picture of like the place where, you know, like it's I don't need to explain it much further. Like it's just so like I see what you're saying. Like that's like I think it's important to kind of just like let people know that there's grief, and that this stuff is like it's not sweet basically.
Yeah,
like
it's, you know, it's life. And when people respect those type of representations, like it's life, and then they can empathize with, you know, the people who really go through that. It's life. Humans live life. So these are humans, you know, not just shadows or, you know, faceless, nameless people, you know, like on the news. But side note, that's why I like the first scene of Snow on the Bluff. Kurt robs the motherfucker with the camera. He said, "Give me that shit." with, you know, hey man, bro, I love that scene because this is like, it's a perfect. I mean, I don't know if Kurt knew what he was doing with that movie, but it's almost a perfect precursor to the empire that's falling right now. It's like, nah, nigga, give me that. I need it, and I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna use this to propel myself. So, you know, like that's just a story of being American. Nigga came over here, took some shit. I'm gonna use that shit to propel. And so yeah, man, that shit's thoroughly American.
Yeah, it's facts. I haven't watched Snow on the Bluff in years. I don't remember nothing about it. I gotta go back. Oh, see, that's the problem. Like,
I can't find it nowhere.
I wish I had a copy of it. But one day I'm gonna watch Snow on the Bluff again. It's been a while. But no, like New Jersey Drive that's another one I've been meaning to run back around. Like, yeah, it's like that's that's a classic to me. I'm a big fan.
Yeah. Juice as well.
Oh yeah, man. Another classic. Like,
that's crazy. The 90s was a good era for black cinema, man. I ain't gonna lie.
Hell yeah.
And well, you know, I guess we coming into like a renaissance with Issa and Barry Jenkins, Terrence Nash. I really like what Gerard Carmichael did on HBO. He
little
did the
special
sermon
he
on.
did.
Yeah,
Right.
with his moms and his pops and his family and shit. Like that. That actually that influenced They Think We Ghetto a lot. Like,
oh wow, okay.
yes, a lot. Like a lot. Like that influenced Think We Ghetto a lot. So,
oh shit.
yeah.
All right. Well, I definitely want to get into that, but that's gonna come later when we actually get to the album. So like clearly you already have this like crazy basis in movies and like a really wide like frame of reference for it. So like, what's the first movie experience you remember having? Like it could be at your cousin's house, it could be at the theater, like it doesn't matter. Like the first time you remember watching a movie.
The first movie experience that jumps out at me, I think Jurassic Park that came out. I don't know if it's 1 or 2. It might have been the first Jurassic. Wait, let me see when the first Jurassic Park came out.
I think that was like 90,
93.
93, okay.
93, so it had to been the second one. Wait, let me make sure. Let me get my check.
Because you were born in 95, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you're 3 years younger than me. Okay.
Oh, wait. It might have been 3, bro. Jurassic Park 3, because Jurassic Park 2 is Lost World.
Right.
Like I for the life of me, I thought 3 was 2. And Lost World felt like an offshoot, because the people from 1, no, my bad, the people from 3 are the same people from 1.
Right.
And then 2 is just with Jeff Goldblum but anyway. My first experience that jumps out at me is like Jurassic Park 3, and my mom and my dad took me, and like I just remember talking to the movie like it's crazy, because as I look back, I think of like, oh, I think that was my first like Black experience, like like I'm literally talking as loud, because I remember like being a kid, like I'm as loud as my voice could go over the thing. I'm talking like I'm at home, like like watching the movie, and like my parents didn't like, they didn't take me out the theater like, oh, like they kind of let my like let my because they knew what it was, like they knew where it came from, so they like, shh, don't like no, you can't do that. But that's what I remember, like just I think it was a scene, because I think they have this in all fucking Jurassic Park movies. It's like when the people running with the dinosaurs, and they like running away from like a T-Rex and shit like that. So like it was like one of those scenes, and I just remember like, bro, y'all so stupid. Oh my god, run. Like so y'all, yeah, that's the first time like a movie. So
how old were you? Cool. You remember?
2001, 1 in 95. Had been like 6.
Yeah, sounds
six,
right.
6 or 7.
Yeah, you're my sister age. Yeah.
Oh, okay. 95, man, cool year.
Yeah, 95 was a cool year. Joey Badass is also born in 95. I don't really know how I feel about that fact anymore, but like
Chief Keef as well.
Yep. And that's crazy, because like Keef feels like he's been around forever. He feels like he's been around for 30 years. Like just like he's just so influential that like he's not even 30 years old yet, and he feels like he's been around since like he's like our Wayne. Or no, not our Wayne, because Wayne is our Wayne, but like he feels like Lil Wayne in that way, because like Wayne started when he was like 13, or like even younger than that. He was like a preteen, and he's like not even 40, and he's been around for fucking 30 years, like that type of shit, It's like because like Keef's first project, he was like what, like 16, 17 when he put out what was it, Finally Rich,
Bang.
right?
Finally Rich was like, he was already famous. Like Bang, I think he was like 15 and shit when he put out Bang.
Right.
Yeah.
See, like 15, bro, and like he's like what, like he was born in 95, so he's 26 or something like.
Yeah. Me and him are 2 days apart. I was born on the 13th. He was born on the 15th. That's
of what month?
August.
Crazy, like, son. That's so wild to me. That's so wild to me.
Me too, G.
Like, I can only imagine.
Me too.
So, you know, from that first experience, like, was like growing up as you kind of started to take in more, like, you remember the first time you watched a movie and you like appreciated it more, you appreciated it as more than just like a piece of entertainment, as like
Yeah,
something that not even like art, but just like it connected with you on a different level.
I think
Okay.
fresh. Yeah, cause yeah, fresh. I felt like, cause art is best when it feels like it's talking directly to you, not over you and not under you. Like it's at eye level. And fresh to me at the time I saw it, the main character, like the little kid, like just, like the character he played, like he was smarter than his environment, which it borders on the line of fantasy. Cause like how can this kid maneuver through drug deals and this and that dysfunction,
Right.
with kind of barely any scratches. Like he got slapped a couple times, but he ain't get beat up too bad. So it was just the image of a smart, for lack of a better term, like a smart black kid, like, cause saving his money, like, like cuz was more mature than like almost the maturest person in his environment. So I was
Right.
like, yeah, like that was like a really, like, that made me sit back and like, oh, okay, you can really make things that reflect life in a multitude of ways, not just like, oh, what because the first time I saw like Boys in the Hood and Menace, like they were a little bit older than me, like old dog,
Right.
like 17, 18, like, so those like my older cousins, like, oh yeah, like them niggas just wild. But with Fresh was like, oh, like he liked this little girl, cause trying to save no money for this and so on that. It just felt more like a nigga just trying to get by. And then, but anyway, yeah, Fresh is one of those things. I'm like, damn, man, that shit tight as hell. And that made me search for more movies that made me feel like this. So.
See, how old were you when you saw Fresh? Because like that's interesting you bring that up about like people like O Dog being a little older than you, because I have a cousin who's like 2-3 years older than me. Shout out to Jarrell.
Mm,
I don't know if he's listening or not, but shout out to Jarrell anyway. Yeah, like he
Shut
was
him out.
he was somebody like, yeah, like I just get that. I get that
Mm-hmm.
perspective. So tell you, like, how old were you when you saw Fresh?
I had to be like 12, 13, like close to the age, or psychically close to the age of, the main character. So
Right, right,
like
right.
maybe even younger, maybe even like 11 or 12 or some shit like that.
Mm,
Yeah.
that's
So, but yeah, I mean, for all right, like for caveat, like my mom, like she never she ain't never tell me I couldn't watch anything, I couldn't like listen to anything. Like she kind of she she let me watch what she watched. So
mm-hmm.
like I was watching The Wire as it was running. Like as I'm 9 years old watching like Omar whistle down the shit. So my like I've been watching stuff like that since I was a kid. But where the fuck was I going with it? But yeah, like that's why like I have such a like, because I talk to people and like that ain't never seen Belly, like that ain't never seen that, like, and I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Because their upbringing was different. Like they parents didn't let them watch that, or their parents wasn't watching stuff like that. So where they gonna get it? Ain't nobody just don't nobody just wake up and be like, oh, let me see if Nas was in any movies. Like you see what I'm saying? So
Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
so
I get it, because yeah, like my parents were kind of like it was like a little bit of both, because like when I was younger they wouldn't let me watch certain things, but like my sister and I would just sneak around it, like
yeah, like kids do.
like I'll never forget, like my dad had the first two he had all the Chappelle show on DVD, and he would
We
and
did
like
too.
he would tell us like, don't ever watch this. or like or like not don't ever watch this, but he would be like, you know, you can only watch this with me, da 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 da, like you can't watch it by yourself. But like he would go roller skating at nights, and then we would just go like throw the shit in his TV and just watch it when he wasn't home. Like he would just like we would like sneak whatever, you know, type shit. But but like but like as I got older, you know, like once I hit maybe like 12 or 13, it didn't really matter as much. Like my parents didn't want me watching The Simpsons, which feels like really tame. Cause like like especially now, but like it would start like that. And then but from then on, it was just pretty much like whatever I found I could just kind of watch. If I was sneaky enough, my parents just be like, fuck it, I don't care. Like I don't give it. But, yeah, like so it was weird. It had like a weird trajectory with that.
Yeah, man, because the world don't like the one thing my parents didn't want me to be is like ignorant or naive to stuff. Like they wanted me to know what was going on.
Right.
So, you know, like the best way that they could do that without them taking me to, you know, like you remember I don't know. You know how Judge Joe Brown or one of them like court shows and like there would be this bad kid and shit and like the judge sentenced him to spend a night spend a night in the hood. That shit was so funny to me and so cruel. But yeah, like, you know, like without doing that, trying to show me, this is what happens in the world and these type of people, you know, you got to watch out for and things like that nature. So
yeah. Nah, I feel it. Yeah, you know,
that's cool.
Yo, between that and just like, you ever watch Steve Wilkos before and just like watch him fucking like take the chair off the stage and throw it and he's like screaming, like like and then of course like you watch like a Scared Straight show, like stuff like that. Like I get it,
bro. Scared Straight is horrible, bro.
Like, like why do they do that to kids, bro?
It's so fun because like, bro, like the kids that need it. Like the kids that really need it be like the most like I don't give a fuck that I'm here type shit. And the kids that don't need it, like they be like picking on them. Like I'm like, wait a minute, this kid saw why the fuck is you spitting orange peels in this nigga face? Like you need to do all that. do that to the hard rock. That's the last in line. That's really like looking around and be like, man, tripping nigga. I'm gonna be in this bitch in a couple years. Like do that to him. So
yeah,
that shit was funny to me.
I always think about that one bit where like the kid is sleeping and like all the guards like come in and they're yelling. I'm like, let's go, move, and he like gets up. He's terrified. Like he's one of those first ones. Like you could just tell. Like why him? Like
for real. Like and bro, jail ain't like that. Boo guards ain't just gonna wake you up. Like get up, nigga. Like nah, that's extreme, nigga. That's torture, bro. That's actually in the Geneva Convention. You can't even do that to terrorists, bro. Like you can't do this shit. Like that's a prisoner. Like they got rights. That shit crazy to me. That shit crazy. But American media, man. American media, the biggest oxymoron on the planet.
Man, fucking, and you know, just like jail is jail, but like that's just like at that point it just feels like TV, you know, like
yeah, that's cruel. The Constitution bars cruel and unusual punishment. That fits the description. You know, you got a camera,
like come on,
that's
son.
Cruel and unusual punishment, man. But hey, anything for some laughs, man. This is the country we live in.
You already know.
There's a country, anything for some laughs. That shit crazy.
So let's shift gears a little bit and talk about music. When did you first fall in love with music? Like as you're kind of going through this movie journey, like where did music come in for you?
Music always been there, man. Like, you know, my dad's side of the family, they basically owned a Baptist church, so they'll be in church every Sunday. My mom playing Hot Boys and Cash Money and Scarface and old blues artists. Like, so music has always been there. I got my first PSP, and you know, with the PSPs, you can put your own music on there.
Oh yeah, and, all over that. Shit.
My uncle at the time, he put Boosie's first album, Badass, and Kanye's second album, The Late Registration. He was trying to give me some balance. So I, you know, like up until that point, like I heard Boosie, like I heard Zoom, you know, like you can't escape him where I'm from at that time. but I never heard Late Registration or College Dropout. So I'm listening to Kanye. I'm like, bro, this shit is crazy. Like Diamonds from Sierra Leone is hitting me away. Like, damn, like the fuck going on to me? Like, why? Like, why do I like this shit? So yeah, like it's the first time like I can really pinpoint like, oh yeah, like music is really starting to change the way I think and change the way I feel.
Right. It's crazy you bring that up because I just like you just unlocked a memory that I completely forgot about. I was on a school, we were coming back from a school trip. I was in middle school
Mm.
and they were having a cipher like in the back of the fucking bus. And I don't remember who it started, but like somebody went and they did decent. And then like somebody like passed it to me. And the only thing that I could think to do was start rapping Kanye's first verse from Diamonds from Sierra Leone. And everybody went, boo, we know that shit. Get that at I was so traumatized. Like it was like I didn't have anything off the top, but it was just funny. Like it was like I look back on it like, damn, like why did I think I'd be able to get away with that? Like, oh, they won't know this one. Like, son.
Want to know what's fucking crazy, bro?
What?
And why I think if that didn't happen to you, we would be flipped. Like I would be, the journalist, and like you would be the rapper. Because I used to do the same thing. I used to do the same thing with Lil Wayne. Because LimeWire was popping, like, like I tell you, nobody never noticed or caught me. And like over time, okay. At first it started me saying Wayne's whole verse. Then it progressed to me sneaking little lines of mine in there. And then it just progressed to me saying, my raps. So that kind of gave me the confidence, like, oh, they couldn't tell I was rapping Lil Wayne. Like, they couldn't tell the drop off in skills. So I was like, I might can do something with this. I might can rap. So that kind of gave me the confidence that I have now. So if somebody caught me, bro, at least one time, oh my God. Oh my God, bro. I think I would have, bro. Like, I think I would have been like, oh man. Like, just my whole reputation as an MC would have been silly.
Right, of course, yeah.
Like, bro, like, nah. So I'm so glad that happened to you instead of me. I'm sorry.
Hey, no, it's cool. It's cool. Like that's what like that's when I realized, like, yeah, I'm probably just better off just like enjoying it and like bigging everybody else up because then like all my other friends, like when everybody was first like digging into like old Gangstar shit, like they would just throw on beats. People would just come over to my crib and just throw on beats and just freestyle in my basement. And just like I would just like sit back and watch type shit, like just like, yeah, like this is tight, I'm cool, just appreciating this from the back, like
yeah, it's, bro, like, because everybody's an artist at heart. Everybody,
everybody.
no matter what you do, no matter what you do, even if you're not doing your art. So if you love something and you're so passionate about it, you damn near can't do it if you know. Like, not saying, because you can learn how to rap. That's, people learn how to do heart transplants. You can learn how to rap. But it's the point of, I don't feel I was born to do it. And once that kind of shit starts to creep into your mind, like, it's like, all right, well, let me just try to be a super fan of it. Because to be honest, like, if I didn't rap, I'll still be listening to everybody I still listen to. I'll still be I still be looking up Pigeons and Planes best new artists of the month type shit. So, I don't think me doing it and me being a fan of it are like linked. I think they run parallel. So
yeah, and like that just proves that you would still be like you'd still be here regardless of whether or not you were making music or making money. Like it means that you really care. It means that like you really give a shit about it, and it's not just like, hey, let me see if I could. Like, and right, like and like that's just good. Like it's just nice and genuine and shit.
Shit, yeah, gotta have something to give to the babies, man. Because somebody was thinking about us. They gave the shit to us. At least let's give something to them. Like not promising it's gonna be the same thing our parents gave us, but it's gonna be something.
Right, like I feel like this is a really like this feels like a really silly question, but like. You remember when A Milli came out? Like like I know there have been like at least 24 songs that have come out in the last 10 years that are like a milli. But like what would like just like thinking of people who like heard that for the first time and then made a song that was like that like kind of impacted that way, kind of looking back at it and being like, I kind of made my a milli, didn't I? Like I can't think of any right now, but like just you just made me think about that whole idea of just I don't know why a milli specifically, but like I don't know.
So what you mean in the terms of like somebody thinking that they made their milli, they think they did just as good as Wayne on the beat, or they made their own thing that like, because Paper Planes is MIA's a milli.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I mean.
Okay.
Yeah,
You know. Well, yeah.
Right. So Paper Planes is her a milli. Like Don't Like is Keef's a milli. Like fucking EXO Tour Life is Uzi's a milli. Like that type of shit. You know, like so I just there's like I said, there's dozens, hundreds, probably even thousands of examples, but I just and like I said, I don't know why I zeroed in on Wayne, but like that song just is kind of in my head forever off some bullshit.
Yeah, that nigga Wayne is crazy because once I think about him, he Lollipop on paper should not work. like that should not work on paper.
Right,
but he wills it into being one of his best-selling songs. Like that's crazy. Like with Drake stuff, you can see like that Drake works on paper. Like Controller works on paper.
Right.
Hold On, I'm Going Home. That works on paper. Started from the bottom.
Yep. Wow. We said that at the same time. That's crazy. Yeah.
Yep. That works on paper.
Yeah.
Lil Wayne just coming off a mixtape run. Now, like you call yourself the best rapper alive. Now you make something called talk about licking like a lollipop. Okay, that's a pivot, but you know, Wayne's the king of pivots. Like the king of pivots, man. Because he pivoted from that to doing rock star shit.
Right. Yeah, it's just it like no, not every pivot works because you know, like
word, but it's always entertaining. It's always entertaining. It doesn't always work, but it's always something to see. It's always something to see.
Yeah, the only time it kind of fucked me up was the whole Trump shit, and I don't know if he's ever gonna be able to live that down. But you know,
be honest, man, man, because for my own sanity and my own heart, I kind of stopped rappers at their eras. Like to me, Kanye, like Kanye stopped making albums after Pablo. Like
I get it.
I kind of pause it. Like, yo, that's he gonna get back to but Wayne is the same way. After what Carter 4, I would say. Yeah, like I'm like, okay, yeah, Wayne is going into like a different space. Because at that time, Kendrick was up and doing his thing. Cole, like he had new blood in it.
Right.
To admire. And now we have even newer blood. So
right, yeah, that was like at that point that was like the Kendrick, Cole, Drake trifecta. They all three of them popped around like within like the same like 1 to 2 year period. Because So Far Gone was 09.
Warm Ups was 10. Wait, Warm Ups was 09.
Yeah, no. Warm Up was 09, and So Far Gone was 09. I can't remember when OD came out.
2010.
Yeah, OD was 2010, and then Section 80 was 2011. Yeah, but either way, and then just I get that whole having to cut people off after. So it's like because
hey, don't get it twisted. Lil Wayne, Dwayne Carter Jr. I love you to death, nigga. I swear to God, I do.
I get it.
But man, I can't be rocking with no white man, bro. I can't be rocking with him.
I feel like you gotta, like you just gotta, like after a certain point, you just have that. Cause like before we move on, there's this really what's it called? My man Craig Jenkins wrote this incredible piece about Kanye when the Trump shit happened, and just like about what Kanye did at like in his most, like when he was still peaking, and like when we were growing up, like that stuff that happened and that stuff that we experienced and like took in, like you listening to Late Registration on your PSP, like that's yours, you know, like nobody could take that from you regardless of what he did. Like it sucks, and like it's kind of like it tarnishes his legacy, but like you have those moments. Like I had the moment that I first heard College Dropout and like bonded with my father over the Gil Scott Heron sample on Late Registration. Like nobody could take that from me. You have the PSP, you have these songs and these memories, and like even if he fucked up in that way, like we have that, and like that's a part of us, and we can't really, like that's the building blocks that we were talking about before. Like that, like I held on to that ever since I read that, and that's really like, yeah, it's hard to compartmentalize it sometimes, but like that's always going to be a part of you.
Yeah.
Even if you don't listen to it anymore, like that's always going to be a part of you. So that's just always important to remember.
Yeah. Goddamn, Kanye and Wayne, two of my favorites. Yep. What's the shit? The shit from Johnson's Family Vacation popped into our mind. You know when they drive in the highway and they got to see his head. 50 Cent out a shot.
Yeah.
They rapping. So shot. He started throwing out the window. Yeah,
oh
like
shit. That. Yeah, because I thought you were either gonna talk about that or the scene where Bow Wow pissed in the cup and he threw it out the window at the cop.
Yeah, that's the same. That's the same.
Right,
wait,
yeah.
no. Well, yeah, kind of the same scene.
Yeah, because it starts there, and then and then he's still throwing shit, and then he just takes the cup. Man, that movie is wild, son. That movie is so wild.
It's a funny ass movie. Johnson Family Vacation. That's a family movie for real.
Yeah, man.
That's a family movie for real.
God, like yeah, that was like my era of Cedric the Entertainer. I was fucking with all of that shit. Like
the king of comedy, man. Nigga funny as hell.
So like speaking of that scene, that's a great scene to kind of segue into this. Like as you're growing up and you have these, and you know, like your knowledge and like your everything on movies and music are kind of building. Like was there ever a moment where you like consciously linked film and music together, like in your head, where you realized like these two things kind of like inform each other?
I think maybe when I started making music on my own, started making albums or projects on my own, I wanted my music to feel like watching one of those great 90s movies. Like I wanted it to feel like me watching Fresh. I wanted it to feel like me watching Juice with my friend. I wanted it to feel like me watching Menace to Society, because there are lessons in those movies. It's, you know, they're not just pop culture or pieces of pop culture.
Yeah.
You know, with Juice in Juice, the lesson is, you know, watch who you call your friends, and Menace, you know, it's lessons about karma, and Fresh, you know, lessons about, you know, everything else. So I wanted to make albums, I wanted to make music that kind of gave you lessons, but also gave you a ride to go on. So the only medium that I knew of that did that was movies. So that's, you know, me linking the two art forms together. I want the music to feel like a movie. I want my music videos to feel like, well, I want the visuals to do more than complement the music. It's morphing into me being a director, because I did a short film called Ebo's and Booker's Day Off, and I used music from a Leak Ruff that I didn't shoot a video for. And when I made that, I felt like this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Like, just kind of make, people call it world building now, but just giving people something to step into and look around, like, and listen to, you know, like a, not a silent museum, but kind of just imagine you were walking in a Kerry James Marshall exhibit and Liquid Swords was playing in your headphones. Like just that audio visual, type of thing going on. So that's what my art is kind of molding into. I'm gonna see how far I can take it or what other stuff interests me or inspires me. But yeah, that's the first time I kind of linked them when I started making albums of my own.
That's a tight answer. And you said world building was a thing people use. Another one is lived in. People call that type of shit like lived in, which I like. I actually kind of like that more than I like world building. But I know exactly what you mean, and that's dope. Like it's, like you want to feel like people, like if somebody is gonna, speaking just for myself, if somebody's gonna go out of their way to like create a world, I want it to feel like something like They Think We Ghetto does, or like just like it feels like I can touch it almost, but like without actually touching it, like it's just got that, you can see it, you can, I don't know, that's just good shit.
Yep. I try my best. Yeah. Well, let me see what else I want to say. No, let's see. Oh, wait, there's a thought. God damn it. Hold on, Dylan. There's a thought.
You got it.
There's a thought. Cause I'm thinking about it. Fuck. Where over there? Fuck it. Anyway, it's gonna come back to me. God damn it, to my tongue.
Nah, it's all good. Well, no. When it comes back, tell me. So what's it called? What, like, you were listening to rap for a while, but like what led you to like first start rapping? Because I understand you started rapping when you were about like 9 or 10 years old. So like when was that a thing when you first wanted to do it?
It's a couple points from like not okay. When I say I've been rapping since I was 9, I haven't been in the studio since I was 9.
Right.
I was writing, writing little poems and little raps. Like I want to make that distinction because like niggas gonna be like 9. Like wait a minute, nigga, ain't you supposed to be 9? So I was just writing rap. I didn't record myself, hear my vocals recorded till I was like 17. So between 9 and 17, I was playing football in middle school and like high school and stuff. But like X-Men, when like the mutant doesn't know he a mutant and like the powers come out in like stressful situations, like motherfucker don't know that he can make fire, but like when he get bullied, he fucking incinerate the whole high school.
Right.
Like that's kind of how it was with rap. Like if I saw people gathered up rapping, like I'll just like walk over and like spit and like walk off and leave people like, the fuck, I ain't no core, I can fucking rap. The fuck, and like have people like, no man, come back, core, nah, come back. So it was like that, like from 9 to 17, it was that the whole time. Like it was a couple people, like kind of the word started to spread. Like if people was talking about like rapping, like you know who can rap though? Who? That nigga Quad. That nigga Quad can't rap. And like niggas be like, no, this nigga can really rap. And people like, oh, right. Like if people be adamant about like, no, wait, no. Like, nah, like I'm not even joking. Cause like, like I was kind of like a goofy kind of kid, like I wore high water sometimes, and I didn't have my hair cut, like in like the coolest way. So it's like people like, Quad rap. Fucking rap, man. Because rap of that to that point was, Lil Wayne and like the cool, cool shit like rap. Right, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Thank God for Kendrick and Cole. Thank God. Kendrick with, like with the little Gumby fade or the shit, I was like, yo, somebody, let's go. Somebody with the fucked up face, spin bars, let's go.
It's my time now, type shit.
For real. It felt like my era. It felt like my time to shine. But yeah, man, just going forward. Wait a minute. What was the question? When I like feel like, I could rap or I could
yeah. Like I guess like what like first led you to like go in the studio and like not just have it be a thing that was like on the playground type shit.
My my friend George Sterling, he had a computer, and his brother was making music with an older friend of ours. His name was Leonard. And so George, big brother, and Leonard were making songs. Me and George was playing football. So after football practice, we would all go to George's house, and it would be 6 of us in there, and naturally, six young black dudes. We gonna find our way to an instrumental. We gonna find our way to rap.
Yeah.
So, you know, like that was a thing for a while. We're just going there and play instrumental, just like fucking around. Then we started smoking weed. That's what triggered it. Cause then we would play the instrumental after we smoked weed. And that's when people kind of saw, like, oh, wait, no, hold on, Cor, like, you need to be recording this shit. Like, you know, cause anything you do kind of often, you gonna get better at. And since it was already a latent thing in me already, you know, it got to the point was like, oh, wait, nah, Cor, you need to be trying to rap or do something now, bro, because you're getting a little bit too good. Like it got to the point where it was like we play the instrumental and we just go around the room, everybody get a verse. It evolved to put on the instrumental and Quad just rap for for like 2 hours. So it was like, you know, motherfuckers just bowing out. Was like, all right, you know, because nobody want to get embarrassed. Like, nobody want to rap like Quad. Like, oh shit, the fuck. So you like, you know, like it evolved to that. So once it got to the point where like I'm just rapping, George already had mixed crafts on the computer from his older brother. So we just tinker with it and we like making songs. So when George's big brother and Leonard would come back and try to do their stuff, they would see files that they didn't do and be like, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? And like they'll listen and be like, oh, this, you know, like this my little brother fucking around with his friend. And so like they listen and they're like, they're kind of tight though. So, you know, like they invite me to their sessions, you know, like let me rap. And that just grew to me and George doing what they was doing, making our own songs. And that's how I started making my first projects. And that's how I started. We made this project called Dope in 2014. And this song called 2 Pounds of Sad, you didn't read this story or heard it probably like a couple times, but I sent 2 Pounds of Sad to Jacob Moore at Pigeons and Planes and he liked it. It's kind of starting the trajectory I'm on now.
I know the story. That's so funny.
Yeah, bro. It's like it's funny how media works too. It's like once you have a story, that's your story. Like it's gonna get regurgitated. Like once you have something, okay, that's your story. That's your story. Like
right.
No other nuances to it, no other details to it. Like, oh nah, you just sent your shit to take away Pigeons and Planes. That's how you got here.
But
like,
you know, but then, you know, like if you're lucky enough, like you can like transcend that story and just and it's like that's the starting point. But then you come on and like make your own shit, like you've been doing. You know, like I think you've you know like it's been 7 years like since 2014. So like you've definitely like you're past that type shit.
Yeah. Way past that. Yeah.
But still, like, you know.
Yeah, still kicking because man, so much has changed in hip hop since then. There's so much things that can happen. I'm just grateful that I'm like, you know, the audience has been telling me to come back every season. You know, it's like I just been getting renewed by, you know, people like, okay, you know, like America Me was cool. Let's see what he does next. Oh, Malik Ruff was nice. Let's see what he does next. Oh, They Think We Ghetto. So, you know, hopefully, you know, I can do this until I feel I didn't gave enough to the game and, you know, I didn't inspire enough. So.
Right. You know, like, I think that's like, and it's great. It's great that you still manage to find so much within yourself to turn out all these crazy projects. And like, I kind of want to touch on a couple of them because I went back and listened to as much as I could before we did this. And, you know, like, I actually do want to touch on America Me a little bit, which was, you know, like it was released, like obviously not like tied to it, but it was released around the time Alton Sterling was killed. back in 2016, if I remember correctly. So like, what was like where was your head at when you made America Me? Because like it's a lot.
Okay, I came up with it's so crazy because I came up with the idea, the name, and the album before the stuff with Alton was happening. Because remember, before that, it was Michael Brown in St. Louis, and it was Trayvon. Before that in Florida. So the time was already tense, and the original album cover, and also this was around the time that I met Brock. So, you know, like I'm telling him about this project, you know, that I'm like thinking about, and you know, like I'm gonna call it America Me. And I sent him the cover. I don't know if you've seen this picture, but it's a picture from like, I think a riot in the 60s where this kid is like he's bleeding from his head, and he's like on the sidewalk, and it's like this police officers looking like he's about to walk over him, or you know, like, you know, kind of disregard this person's body on the ground. And that was the original artwork that I was going to use. And the reason I picked that artwork, because that's how I felt in my soul. That's just how I felt the country, you know, what the country was at that time. You know, like I felt that nobody really cared. It was just a lot of media attention put on the issue, which is good. But yeah, like we still at a point where, you know, Mr. Floyd, he died like last year. So it's been 6 or 7 years. We still ain't got a good handle on the underlying issues, what we can do to stop these type of things from happening. So, you know, I felt just like I had to scream. So it eventually, you know, because I'm very cognizant of how images make people react. I'm very cognizant how art makes people react. So I kind of self-sanitize. And that's how I got to the art cover that is now the art cover for America Me with the kids, that kind of says the same thing, but also says just kind of presenting a form of beauty, basically. You know, kind of saying, how could you trample over, you know, people as beautiful as this? So, you know, that was what I was kind of saying with that album cover. But my mind, yeah, like that's what my mind was. Like I just wanted to scream, man. And the music I wanted to make, I didn't want it to be overtly political. I didn't want it to be a protest album. I had protest songs on there, like Sweetwater, for example. But I wanted it to feel like somebody living through the events, not letting the events live through them.
Right.
I don't know if that's a cool turn of phrase, but you know, like I didn't, because every hip hop album that I like, The Chronic, Illmatic, ATLiens, I'm gonna just stop there. But the Chronic wasn't about the riots. It was just what it's like to be Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg while Los Angeles is burning. Like, you know, like it wasn't, you know, like it wasn't about Rodney King. It wasn't about racism in America. It's about let me ride smooth out,
street cherry.
You know,
man.
Yeah, like, you know, like it's about cruising and living. But with cruising and living is the day the niggas took over. Like,
exactly,
you know, so it's, you know, that's how I wanted it to feel. Like I didn't want it to feel like, girl. I wanted to feel like, you know, God damn, man, them niggas over there tripping, man. The fuck, man? You see that smoke going up? The fuck, what's going on over there? So, which is really how the hood handles stuff like that. You know, like a couple people go loot and come back with some shit to sell, but a majority of the people in, you know, like in these areas where you would think, like, you know, I'm gonna just pick one out of history. All right, you would think Chicago, not Chicago and New York. Like you would think after things like this happen, these communities would rip the city up. Like, nah, niggas just chilling. Niggas trying to get on with their day. Niggas trying to get back to the house with their weed and watch whatever show that they were watching, man. Like niggas ain't,
man.
Like everybody ain't goddamn Malcolm X, man. So, so that's kind of the feeling I want to present. Like, not an apathetic feeling, because people internalize it in different ways. People.
Right.
Like I didn't see people handle grief. Motherfuckers just don't talk, and don't cry. Don't like the most horrible shit just happened to them. They just don't talk. They just go on. They eat. They eat. They do the human shit, but they just, that's just how they handle it.
I seen it too. Yeah, no, that's real. And you see, no, I'm sorry. Finish.
No. Yeah, my thought finished. That's my period. So
felt. But yeah, but that's realistic. Cause not like it's like you said, not everybody's Malcolm X. And I think acknowledging that is more realistic. I just think that side is really important to acknowledge, like at all times. Like I'm really happy you brought up the Chronic and like the day the niggas took over, because like that's the only song on that album that explicitly references stuff like that. It's there, but it's not the whole thing. And it's just like a day in the life with like things happening around you and like you kind of reacting to it, as opposed to like this is an album about the riots, like it's like it's like walking that thin line between being a history lesson and just like kicking it with people, like that's what I meant earlier when that feels lived in to me. Like the Chronic is an album that feels lived in. Like if the Chronic were a house and you were to like walk into it, the first thing you would see when you open the door is like a Raiders cap on a table. You would see some green fucking crumbled up on that same table. Like that's like in film, that's a thing that's called mise en scène. Like it's just like how all that shit, like how like the visuals of a scene can like speak to what's happening in it. Like that's what that is to me. And I think that's something that a lot of really great artists like you are really cognizant of, like you said. So that's I just think that's tight. I just think that's tight.
Yeah. I just looked up the definition of mise en scène.
Mise en scene.
Okay. All right, cool. Both in visual arts through storyboard, visual thing. Yeah. Sounds exactly right. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's my film geek brain going right there. That's
bro. Like, and the most craziest thing too, like people be calling me shit that I didn't know that's what I was doing, but it's a name for it. Like,
a
fucking auteur.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna
like,
say
bro,
that.
a fucking article and fucking ID called me an auteur. Like, I went to go Google that shit. I'm like, what the fuck this nigga calling me? Hold up. like like when you don't know a word, like you think it's a bad word, like hello,
yeah,
auteur. And I start reading the definition. I'm like, a director or a novelist with basically it's somebody that's you know what I mean, right?
I do. Yeah.
Just for the audience. Hold on.
Right. Yeah. No doubt.
Let me get the
No, I'm happy you're doing it because I wrote a whole piece about how Tyler, the creator, is an auteur, and people were coming up to me like, what's that mean? And I'm like, and we talk about it and type shit. It's just good for people to know.
All right, for the people, an auteur, a filmmaker, or a novelist a person who writes books, whose personal influence and artistic control over a movie are so great that the filmmaker is regarded as the author of the movie. So,
right,
when Cuz called me that about ghetto, I understood what he was saying. Like, like I used different producers to accomplish one goal. Like
Right.
Baby Boy and Once Upon a Time in the Parking Lot are made by two separate people, but they fit in the same psyche world. So I was like, okay, yeah, I get it.
Right. Like, yeah, like when people think of auteurs, like you think of people like Quentin Tarantino is usually the first person that comes to mind. Like, I would argue that John Singleton is an auteur, at least like his earlier shit, like particularly like Boys in the Hood and shit. And there's plenty of people, but like, like just people who like, yeah, like you read the definition. So I think, like I think you definitely fit into there, and you fit in there for a while. Like like it's not just here. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Shit, yeah. We've been going crazy for a while, man.
Before we move on to They Think We Ghetto, I wanted to like the two projects that I spent the most time with while I was going through some of your old stuff was Emergency Raps with Tuamie and Don't You Weep with Jansport J, because I'm really big on rapper producer collabs. Like I love them. I don't know what it is, but I love seeing two people lock in for a whole like 13, 14, 15 songs together. So like for you, like, like working, like you were just talking about how you were using a whole bunch of different producers to kind of bring this one holistic vision on They Think We Ghetto. But like, how do you feel working with Tuamie and Jansport on one project each? Do you feel like that kind of helped you like refine your voice at all? Like, how do you feel? Yeah, like basically just like the opposite of what you did on They Think We Ghetto. Like, how do you feel the opposite of that kind of helped you to further find your voice before you made it here? If it did
the
at all.
whole I'm sorry, what you said?
No, I don't even know why I added that qualifier. Like, how do you feel? Yeah, just like, do you feel like working with one producer for two whole projects kind of like made you approach rap differently, or did that not really matter to you? Like, did it yeah?
I was, cause really I took that from from Wayne's school, from Lil Wayne's school of just kind of expanding my not my vocabulary, but how Wayne was just stretching what he could do with like rapping, just the art form, like how detailed he can be, just kind of like just stretching it, like how funny and how outlandish that like he could say I'm a rap lyric, and also getting sharper in practice. To me, those projects are like my gym. Like those are me just shooting shots. Just kind of, that's where I feel more freedom. I can throw more stuff at the wall, and that kind of prepares me for the next full length project that I'm like thinking about doing. Yeah, like those. That's exactly what those projects are. Like gym, workout, partner in crime type things. Like I'm a fan of those like buddy cop movies. And like
man.
buddy westerns, like Butch and Sundance, that type shit. Just so yeah, like it's that spirit.
Right. Yeah. I could. Yeah. Like I could feel that, especially on Emergency Raps Volume 5. Like it's just like freewheeling is not the word I want to use, but it just feels like you feel like you're experimenting a little bit and just kind of like testing your limits on what you can do, and that's just like a lot of fun to me. Like that makes those two projects like real fun to me. Like
and also with both the Tuamie and Jansport, cause like think about when those projects come out. Tuamie, that's after I do Malik Ruff, which is this flowery kind of alternative type thing, and I come back like kind of because I wanted to show that I'm on the same caliber as MCs as Concept Jackson. I'm on the same caliber as MCs like the Mutants and the Mavies and the Mike. So that's what I kind of wanted to show people. Like I can make the 104s with Steve Lacy, but don't you forget for 1 second, I'm just as sharp as Master Cons and like everybody that's kicking ass on that side. So yeah, man, just pure vein. Like I can rap.
Right. And you know, like sometimes you just got to remind people that you can rap, like, like,
Yeah, man.
that's
Shit,
and
sometimes.
and that's fun, you know, like I could tell that you had a good time putting those together, and it wasn't like, like you weren't overthinking it. It was just like, let's rap, you know.
Yeah, and then through that, I don't have to think about the concept and how this and now that kind of bogs the creative down. You know, if I'm just rapping over a Tuamie beat, like there's just so much that I can say within 2 bars that don't even have to be connected to a concept or connected to each other. Like I can talk about one thing in one bar and something else in another bar, and it's okay because this is not an album. It's just me and Tuamie and me and Jansport just kicking ass.
Yeah, for real. And like that's that's important to have. Like it's important to be able to just kind of cut loose and not like need it to be attached to something if you don't want it to. Like if you want to do that all the time, like like feel free, whoever. But like sometimes it's just cool to just rap. Like
Yeah, because I mean, it's an audience for everything, bro. It's an audience for everything, and who's to say people that like Tuamie won't pick up on the albums that we doing, and we be the Dylan comment of that scene, or so. Like I don't know where the hype is gonna come from. I'm just shooting stuff in every direction. You know what I'm saying? Right. So like like whatever comes back, hey man. Hey, what up? Yeah, yeah. Shit, I did do something with Jansport, and he did go work with Nas, and I can rap too. So,
right, yeah, like you're shooting into every alley and seeing what comes back, and that's dope. Like, you're diversifying your bonds, like
Wu-Tang Financial.
Oh, you already know. See, I'm picked it up.
That's the funniest skit ever.
Yeah. You need to diversify your bonds, nigga. Like,
just the way, like, yo, but like, it, bro, like, and it's so crazy, cause on the surface, it's like, what people would think that makes it funny is like, oh, wait, the irony of people going to rappers for like, financial advice. Oh man, that's it's funny. But if you think about it, Riz and Jizza, they might be the niggas you need to go to. They made the Wu-Tang. That's right. One of the best logo. They logo is up there with McDonald's. Like
honestly, like everybody knows what the Wu-Tang Clan logo looks like. Everybody.
Nigga, come on, man. You got old Asian motherfuckers. Hey, yeah. Nigga. I would kill somebody for that type of brand recognition. Really shoot somebody in the middle of fucking Central Park, like for that type of brand recognition. I forget the word for it. Brand
recognition. Brand recognition.
There you go. Recognition. Yeah. I'm sorry.
No, it's cool.
I'm a rapper.
Don't even trip.
Huh?
Don't even trip, son. Like words disappear from my brain too. I'm a writer, so like
word. Yeah, word. Likewise, like niggas should be do, but it's the nature of the beast.
Hey, no, you're totally right. Like the Wu-Tang logo is like that's like an all-timer. Like that's like it's crazy because the Wu-Tang logo is like I grew up in the suburbs in like a very weird like kind of no Montclair is the suburbs, but like it's also like there's lots of like there's a hood and like places around, but like you see people in like the nice part of town wearing Wu-Tang shirts, and you see people in the not nice part of town wearing Wu-Tang shirts. Like it's one of those. Like it's everywhere. Yeah. Like it doesn't matter. Like
ubiquitous. Everybody loves Wu-Tang.
Ubiquitous. That's the word. Yeah. Like I just yo mom, before we move on, because I got a couple more questions. My homegirl Jaylani, shout out to Jaylani. She wrote the liner notes for the Vinyl Me Please's reissue of Wu-Tang's Enter the 36 Chambers, and I just got it, and like it comes with an art print on the back that doubles as a fucking chessboard, and it's beautiful. Like I don't have it here, so I can't show you, but it's beautiful. Like, and just like seeing a chessboard with the Wu-Tang logo on it, I was like, that's how like that's how that shit is like it's on a chessboard. Like that's crazy.
Yeah. And it, bro, it's and the last thing about Wu-Tang, but they're one of the few rap legacies that centered on how intelligent the artists or the MCs were. Like their whole shit is chess and 5% knowledge and like you know, obscure movie references. It's nerd, like it's nerd
and
shit basically.
And comic books, like
yeah,
Ghostface literally called himself like Tony Stark's Iron Man, like it's all nerd shit. It's
exactly.
All of it, like
for real. But it's coming through this what Project Prism.
Like
yeah, hey man, crazy. I be thinking of them, you know, off the bat. But yeah, like it's coming through this prism of motherfuckers who, you know, just be in front, like, you know, be in front of the liquor store all day. Like, bro, no member in Wu-Tang. I would not feel safe with them, like watching my children, or like the early Wu-Tang with like Meth with the milk eye. Them, that Wu-Tang,
yeah.
Them niggas was dust heads. Like, bro, you ain't letting them family functions. Nah,
he was smoking what he was smoking White Owl blunts, bro. Like that's different. That's different.
yeah, those they were wild guys. So
yeah,
for them to be into type of stuff I'm into, that just kind of let me know, like, oh yeah, hip hop is definitely for everybody. Like right. Every weird, every nuance, every idiosyncratic tick you have, hip hop will reward you for it.
Yeah. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Rap is like the nerdiest shit ever. And it's been that from the very beginning. Like it's always been connected to like not even just like specific parts of nerd culture, but like the idea of hip hop is extremely nerdy. Like it's always been that. Like
you gotta be nerdy to spin on a cardboard box.
Like, come on, son. Like you see like, me.
Bro. The niggas was getting the girls. I don't know. You know, because hip hop grew to a point where the niggas are getting the girls was the niggas on the, you know, spin on the box. But I'm pretty sure when that shit started, you know, the niggas with the, you know, with the press or whatever era, you know, the nice hair of that era, them niggas was walking past them niggas like, the fuck y'all doing, man? Man, shit. We going to the club day of disco, man. The fuck y'all niggas out here. All right, we'll holler. Y'all niggas have fun with that hip hop shit. Like, bro, yeah, bro. It's yeah, man. It's for the nerds, man.
Honestly,
hip hop's for nerds.
Real quick story before we move on. I interviewed my father for Father's Day a couple of years ago, and my father's 76, and he so like he's from the Bronx, so like he was a grown man when hip hop was first starting to come about. So like he was at my my best friend's mom's house. Shout out to Pam. Shout out to Solomon. He was at his friend Pam's house, and he looked out the window. It was during the blackout, like that famous blackout that like basically birthed rap. And like he was looking outside and he saw two dudes on cardboard breakdancing. And he ran into the kitchen because it was Pam and her mother Marlene, and he ran in and he was like, "Yo, Pam, Marlene, there's two boys having seizures outside," and like they were like, "Nah, they're just breakdancing, like they're fine, like they're just dancing outside." And he was like, "You sure? Like they're kind of going crazy." Like my dad, he thought they were having seizures. Like
you should check a niggas moving with the shit. Yeah, man, they were going crazy. I'll probably be scared too. Like, the fuck these niggas doing out here, man? Like, the blackout? I don't know what's going on, man. Nigga can't get their medicine or something.
Just really wild. Like,
yeah, but you know, yeah, bro, it's just crazy how the dominant thing usually comes from the meek or the people, you know, that are cast aside to an extent.
No, yeah, like that, you know, like that's like just like the whole idea of like oppression breeding great art, which isn't always true. Like it's weird and it's a weird and complicated idea that I don't have time to break down here. But like, you know, just like so much beauty comes from all that strife. Like, and like that's where this came from, and like that's why we're talking right now. And I always try to be cognizant of that. That shit is crazy. So, you know, going from talking about going from talking about like raps where you're cutting loose to let's talk about They Think We Ghetto, because like so like where did the initial idea of the project come from? Because you said earlier that Gerard Carmichael's HBO special kind of influenced you into creating that. So like how did those two things work together?
Let me think. Because the first thing that comes to mind, I like how he immortalized. Well, because me with They Think We Ghetto, the mission was to. This might sound weird, but I wanted to cast my friends in stone. I wanted to. Words on my tongue. What they used to do to the niggas in Star Wars that Han Solo got encased.
Oh, the carbonite.
Yeah, carbonite. But I don't think that's the right word. I think it's amber, like the mosquitoes and amber. What's up?
So like in Jurassic Park.
Yeah, just kind of like a time capsule. I wanted to preserve a 24, 25, 26-year-old self. So when they can look back on it, the videos and the music, they can get a feeling like, oh yeah, that was who we were, or who we was, right. Whatever the correct preposition. So with Gerard, when he was talking to his mom and kind of unfurling all of his family history and legacy, I was like, damn, that's exactly the ground that I wanted to mine, but kind of bring it closer to me and my friend group.
I think that's really admirable. Like that's so important, because that history and that context is what that's what we look back on. Like that's where, like, not even that's where things started, but like just like, you know, like you said, like having that time capsule is really important, especially in the context of an album. I feel like that stuff just kind of seeps in better when it's just like stuff you can hear and just like let it wash over you.
Yeah.
And like, yeah,
because you can't pick up like the outro. Well, really, the second half to the intro track that's produced by Overcast.
Yeah.
The album kind of runs in like a circular motion. The person I'm talking about on Pickup is the same person I'm talking about at the second half of the first song. But that same kind of character kind of evolved into this more responsible version of himself. So, you know, like it's a lot of layers in the album that once I finished it and I listened to the records in sequence, I look back like, okay, yeah, this is a dope concept along with it. So yeah, once I listened back to it, that's when I kind of realized like, that like it's more fleshed out than I realized. Cause a big part of while I kind of held on to it for a little bit, like aside from like the, you know, like the label stuff, was I kind of didn't feel like it was expansive enough. Like I was like, man, you know, like I just got like 11 songs, you know, like after coming off a record like Malik Ruff, where I'm playing with so many different genres, I'm bending genres and I'm melding them. This album kind of sounded more straightforward, which I wasn't mad at, but I was like, damn, like, you know, like I wanted to give it a little bit more flavors, but I also came to the conclusion, like, okay, if I'm playing this, what do I want it to accomplish? Can I be able to play this like background music almost? Like, cause my main mission with They Think We Ghetto, I wanted to be able to play it for my friends and we can play it while we talking. With Malik Ruff, you almost can't do that. Well, you can, but the instrumentation and what I'm doing on that album kind of pulls your attention away, kind of, right. Which also is not a bad thing, but that's not what I wanted to accomplish with this album. Like I wanted it to be able to live with my friends, kind of the world that I created from. I wanted it to live in the world that I live in, that I created. I don't know how to word that. The world that I created, I wanted it to live in the world that I live in. So,
right.
Yeah,
You know,
that was my mission.
Like you brought that world to life in a way that's like almost in a way that like I don't want to say defies description, but it's just like you just listen to something and you can tell that it's like that like people are here and like things are happening and that like it just has that feeling of life to it. Like some of my favorite parts of the album are just like the little like the little conversations that'll happen in the middle or end of a song, or like my favorite moment is at the very end of once, or not the very end, but near the end of Once Upon a Time in the Parking Lot, when the Boondocks theme song just turns on out of nowhere, like and like it sounds like it's coming through on the radio, like just like those little details and like those little like just like little things that show you like the things you like or the things that you were kind of taking in at that time, like that's really beautiful to me. And like that's the type of stuff that adds those little nuances that I think you were kind of looking for.
Yeah. See, it's crazy because I wanted, because with, all right, the sample before that is from Samurai Champloo, like, you know that.
That's what I thought. Okay, that's crazy.
Yeah, Champloo.
Yeah.
Champloo. And then it goes in the Boondock. I wanted to give, like, and I guess it hit too, because you talking about it, but I wanted to show people like my Tuamie nights and my Tuamie days, like this, like that influenced the music just as much as Boosie or any of the other influences I'm pulling from. Like the first song, Format, it contains a old Memphis rap sample, so I want I love that type of music, so that's why I wanted to show that. But I also wanted to show like, yeah, like I like Samurai Champloo, I like the Boondocks,
right.
just just like you said, showing stuff that I'm into, kind of give a more fuller, fleshed out person or like perception of a person. You're like, okay, if you like Champloo, probably likes anime. If he likes anime, he likes Naruto or Attack on Titan. So, just giving people stuff to kind of grab onto other than besides the music.
Right. And like you do that in a way where like it doesn't feel like super on the nose. Like you remember like how Game back in the day would like rap and be like, I used to listen to da 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 da, like he was like explicitly like like he's not like name dropping. It's like it's not completely unrecognizable, but it's like, oh, I know what that is. You play the song and it's like everyone can recognize it. It's like that's the theme for the Boondocks. Like that's a sample. That's a sample from this specific song. Like it doesn't feel too on the nose. It's just like these are things that make you. And it's done in a way where it doesn't feel like you're name dropping. Like I used to listen to 3-6, like that type of shit. Like that's just. So that's cool, like it's always great when people are able to get across what they're saying without having to explicitly say it. Like I fuck with that a ton.
Yeah. And also to circle back to the question before that, I like how Gerard was just candidly talking to his family. Like, like it wasn't, like they were talking about really hurtful things, really like secrets, like people, family secrets and shit. So I'm like, damn, this nigga brave as hell. This nigga brave as hell. So, like I just wanted to be a little bit more brave. And They Think We Ghetto, it's because that's what comes up in our conversations a lot between me and my friends or anybody that lives in the city that I'm from. Like, like we'll be talking about, like it's a various amount of topics, but we might be talking about how Baton Rouge fixed up this white school quicker than they fixed up, like the school that we went to. And, like the conversation would end with, oh, they just think we ghetto. They just think that we don't, we don't need, or, we don't feel like the people that I'm talking about in the album are beautiful. But
right.
if I was to show you pictures, they would resemble more like mugshots than, like the pictures of the people that I'm talking about. Like you would see them on the news before you would see them, being painted about, shit like that. So
and yeah, like public perception would do what it do. Like I get what you mean exactly, and I'm happy. Like that just kind of goes back to the whole idea of this. Like it's like you're like the album is called "They Think We Ghetto," but you're using the album to show that without saying it. It's show don't tell. Like like you're not explicitly saying I'm sitting on the couch with the homies and we talking about why they like. You're not saying that. Like you're showing like you're showing it through the music, like and like another real quick anecdote. Like me and my homies talk about the same shit because like once again, like I grew up in Montclair, New Jersey, which is which is a suburb which has these like beautiful parts, but there's also parts that are like not so great. It's actually kind of bizarre. It's a lot of North Jersey is like that, but we most of us grew up in the south side of town, and the south side of town didn't have school buses when we went to high school. So there were like the charter buses would literally not come to our side of town. So you had three options. You either had to have your parent drive you, which wasn't always possible because a lot of people's parents worked. You either had to have a parent drive you, you had to take public transportation, or you had to walk. So we wound up buying bus tickets. Like the high school would sell like New Jersey Transit bus tickets. You would pay like $20 for a sheet of like 10 or something. And like, but most of the time, like, like I was lucky enough that like my father would usually drive me to school. But if not, like I would usually either walk home or take the bus. But then like you see like all the other kids going to the quote unquote nicer part of town on the cheese buses. And like just last year, they just started sending buses to our side of town. They just started sending buses to our side of town. And like we had this me and my homie Kyle, shout out to Kyle. That's one of my like best friends. Like we were talking about how like, like basically that, like we didn't say that exactly, but it like that sentiment was definitely there. Like, and that's so universal. Like it's so Louisiana, but it's also like the way you portray it is extremely of your place. But that idea of They Think We Ghetto is extremely universal and just like touches people in a way that like I'm sure you understand it, but like it felt crazy to see that shown in that way. So like shout out to you.
Want to know what's crazy, bro? The main drag against me in this album that kind of led to my label thing not going as planned was they thought the message was too niche. They thought it wasn't the opposite of being universal. So it just like hearing you say that is so vindicating to me, just in ways that go beyond like materialistic stuff. It just confirms to me that I was right, that this is the music that people need. This is the music that I need to make. So yeah, like it's just crazy because man, oh my God, you wouldn't believe the shit I heard, the thinly veiled racism, like, cause it's crazy. People will make you think that you're crazy. Right. Like people will really convince you that you're paranoid, that you have an anger problem. Now, like I like to check
or that you're unprofessional. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, and to me, like I always check myself, bro. Like I'm never like you can tell by my art. Like I'm very self-critical. I'm very, like if I think I've done something wrong, and if I know I'm wrong, I'm gonna admit to myself and the person that I wrong, the people that's around me. Oh yeah, I'm wrong. Like that, that's not. that's not how that's supposed to go. That's not how I feel. That's not how I wanted it to be. But when I think I'm right, oh my God, I'm hell to be around. Like, bro, especially when I think I'm right, oh my God, I'm the most unbearable person on the planet, G. Cause like I'm gonna make sure, like, and you know, I'm gonna chalk it up, you know, like a little bit to me being a young artist, and I probably couldn't articulate fully what I wanted to do. I just felt it, and I was just thinking people would see what I'm doing and pick up on what the mission was. But when they hear the music, and because to be honest, I was just making the music. The message came later. Like, the message, the messaging came almost a year. Not the messaging, like the title and the music were kind of always there, but just the messages that crystallized, that kind of what what we're saying, like that inequality of access and resources, that only crystallized from talking with other people and talking about places where they're from, and they have the same problems, like like the water on one part of town is clearer than the water on the other part of town. So it's like, oh yeah, like they think we ghetto too. So that's kind of becoming a tagline of itself, like so
yeah,
man, it's vindicating as fuck, man. I'm so glad people. Woo, nigga, because I thought it was crazy.
Nah, man, see,
crazy, bro.
Like the fact that like the fact that it was already there, and then you just kind of put it together in that way, like it means that that's what you were supposed to do anyway. Like it's like it's there and it's connecting. And like this is like, obviously this is only like just like one stop on the fucking journey you're on, and like I'm excited, like I'm hyped to see like once like when you've refined yourself even more, to like see where you go from there. So like my very last question for you before we wrap this up is like, like to me, like, this is a question. So like this album kind of stakes your claim as being a really great storyteller. Like this is like you can't make an album with that kind of concept and not like know how to put a story together type shit. So like, like as more and more people are coming into the fold and discovering you, and as you're starting to build more momentum for yourself, like what would you say is the overall Quadri mission statement? Like not even just the mission statement for this album specifically, but like if someone were to come here and ask like, what am I going to get from Quadri? Like, what would you tell them?
The truth. The truth. That's, the truth as I see it, because, it's a loaded, it's a kind of a loaded word nowadays. The truth. Like everybody has their own truth.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
You're gonna get my perspective, and I don't want to toot my own horn, but like I'm kind of level-headed. I'm fair. Like I can tell what's good and what's bad, and so that's just a honest perspective. If I feel it's the truth and I'm saying it with the conviction, that the true stories often, carry. So, but yeah, the truth. But as far as a mission statement, I guess the mission statement would be that everybody is somebody. Like everybody has a story to tell. I don't know if you remember the little talking piece at the end of that song with me and Black Party.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I did. It's a piece on there. Yeah, it's a piece on there that my friend Joe Scott is talking, and he was just telling me that what I'm doing, kind of bringing people to where we from and showing them that we got dreams and feelings too. He was just patting me on the back for that. But yeah, if there was a mission statement, yeah, that's what it is. Bringing as many people as possible to Groom Road, to Sinbad, Levy Lane, just to, because I heard in a Vince Staples interview, I think he said, he was like, people make music to be understood more than they make it for people to like.
Yeah.
So that's the one thing, like, that's in my existence. Like, I want to be like understood. Like, okay, Quad, I can see why you did that. I can see why you flashed out. I can see why you talk so much about your friends and your home and stuff, because it's important to me. So,
right.
Yeah.
And
just, yeah. Oh shit, I was finished. My bad, bro.
No. Don't even trip. All I was gonna say is just like honesty is just truth put to words, because truth is quote unquote objective. Like that's about the most objective thing that could possibly be. But like honesty is just that put to words, and like that's what your music is, and like you feel it and you're putting it out, and like that's all you can really ask of anybody is to just be honest about themselves and with themselves, and that's what your music is to me. Your music is honest, like I feel that coming through. So
PinkPanthress, honest as hell. Shorty said the first time that you see me cry, we was leaving a party the other night. I'm like, oh man, this shit is.
Yo, I can't wait to listen to this album, son.
Nigga.
Like, I can't wait. Yeah, like I'm really about to throw it on as soon as we get off this.
That shit hit my soul. But yeah, man. Yeah, that's They Think We Ghetto, one of the ones. I hope as time goes on, as I do more stuff and make more music, we look back and okay, that was one of the projects of the early 20s that first of all established a new voice. Kind of, the project that we all look to, like, okay, this is kind of where Quadri not started, but this is where he was kind of getting the things that we all love from him. I'm just projecting 20, 30 years in the future. Like, right. This is where he started to get the hang of it. This is where he started to kind of know what shots to take. So, yeah.
Right. Nah, bro, you're on your way. Like,
hope so.
Man, Quad, thank you so much, man. This was really enlightening and just like a ton of fun. Like,
likewise.
Oh man, yeah, like for real, yeah. Like, this is like I'm excited to go back and run through everything again, just with like, because you're like, I like your music, like that's why you're here. But like, I think I'm just excited to go back and like revisit a lot of it with all this new context. Like that's one of the most beautiful things about doing something like this. Is like it gives me a new perspective and lets me appreciate things in a way that I might not have before. So like just thank you for that, and just like thank you for everything you do, because it's ill. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank Kaylin for linking us.
Always, yeah. Shout out to Caleb forever.
Yeah, like, so and thank thank you for liking my music and picking me. Because it's one thing to, which I've learned with this rollout, is one thing to like somebody's music. It's a whole nother thing to pick them and spotlight it and talk about it as something that needs to be listened to above everything else. So for that, I'm very, very appreciative.
It's the least I could do, man. I'm really just trying to put on for people I think are really fucking doing shit. So like, just shout out to you for doing shit. Like,
yeah. Thanks, man. I'm gonna keep doing shit. If God, inshallah.
Please. Thanks for listening. Shout out to y'all for making it this far. And shout out to all the Black people listening too, because y'all really impeccable. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and tell a friend to come through next time. 1.